دكتورة ندى صباح الخير. لازم تبلشي بالمقدمة. ناطرينك، كل العالم ناطرينك. بلشي يا حبيبتي.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Nada Jabur Malouf. I'm from Lebanon. I will be the moderator today. I would like to welcome all the participants for the conference. On behalf of Core Research Foundation and in association with Management and Science University, Malaysia, MSU, ADGLE Philippines, I'm delighted to welcome all the delegates and participants around the globe to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia for the International Conference on Management, Education and Emerging Technology, MEET 2023, which is scheduled to be held today, which is 23rd of August. So the theme of the conference is Advanced Trends in Technology and Multidisciplinary Studies. The title of this conference is International Conference on Management, Education and Emerging Technology. It will be a great pleasure to join with research scholars, academicians, and students all around the globe. You are welcome to be stimulated and enriched by the latest in research and development while delving into presentations surrounding transformative advances
دكتورة
provided
ندى
by a variety of disciplines. Yes.
بليز، عفوا، فيكي عم بيقولوا لي تفتح الكاميرا؟ في إمكانية؟ والله هلا صعب
Yes,
يعني.
just give me 5 minutes. يعني in the next one I'll open camera.
In 5 minutes she will open cameras.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, dear.
Sorry.
So I would like, yes.
Good morning. This is Dr. Syed with you. Can you share your screen as well so that we can look into your PPTs? Thank you.
I don't have a PPT. I'm just actually welcoming everybody. And now I will give the turn to Mrs. Priyanka Sahu, the head of operations in Asia Pacific Core Research Foundation. The floor is yours.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes. Sorry.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and our guests and esteemed colleagues.
بلش سيدي عم طول أول بحث.
I would request all other guests to please mute your end so that we can start our meeting today. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and esteemed colleagues, good morning. It is with great pleasure and excitement that I am before you today to welcome you all to this remarkable conference. As we gather here in this inspiring setting, we embark on a journey of knowledge, collaboration, and innovation. First and foremost, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be a part of this event. Your presence here is testament to your commitment to professional and personal growth and to the advancement of our shared goals. The theme of this conference is Advanced Trends in Technology and Multidisciplinary Studies, a concept that resonates deeply with the challenges and opportunities we face in our respective fields. Throughout our time together, we will deliver into this theme from various angles, exploring its implications, uncovering new insights, and forecasting meaningful connections. In addition to the engaging sessions, The conference also offers a unique opportunity for networking and forging new relationships. As we come together, we have the chance to connect with individuals who share our passion, exchange ideas, and build collaborations that can shape the future of our industries. I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to our exceptional lineup of speakers who have graciously agreed to share their expertise and experiences with us. Their insights and perspectives will undoubtedly inspire us and shed light on the latest trends and emerging technologies that are shaping our world. Lastly, I would like to express my gratitude to the organizing committee and all the dedicated individuals who have worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make this conference possible. Their hard work, attention to details, and unwavering commitment have ensured that this event is nothing short of extraordinary. As a need of our hour, we have given the option of publishing all the accepted manuscripts in Scopus Index journals and other highly cited journals as well. Once again, I extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you. May this conference be a catalyst for inspiration, innovation, and collaboration. Thank you, and let the conference begin. Dr. Nada, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Priyanka.
Welcome.
Okay, so next is Associate Professor Dr. Syria. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Yes, Dr. Nada. دكتورة ندى مش عم نسمعك هلا نحن. دكتورة ندى ما عم نسمعك. دكتور ندى.
I think Dr. Nada is facing some network issues. So I would like to call upon Dr. Associate Professor Syriac Nelikunel to give his keynote speech.
Thank you, Darshan Sahu. Thank you so much.
Maybe can I help Dr. Nada and or okay, don't worry. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Dr. Syriac, please start with your keynote speech.
Dr. Arun Kumar.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah, very good morning, very warm good morning, in fact, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed educators, and aspiring students. It's with great pleasure that I stand before you today for this international conference on management, education, and emerging technology, very beautifully called it as MEET, and to discuss the advancing trends in management education. As the world evolves at an unprecedented pace, so too must our approach to preparing the leaders and managers of tomorrow. The landscape of business and management is undergoing remarkable transformation, and our educational institutions must adapt to these changes to ensure that our graduates are not only well prepared, but also agile and forward thinking. In a world driven by rapid technological advancements, it is imperative that our educational approaches evolve to equip the next generation of leaders with the skills and knowledge they need to thrive in a digitally transformed landscape. Hence, I would like to take you through a few points that are close to my heart, especially the changes or trends that are taking place in the field of management education. The first trend that I noticed is digital learning platforms and virtual classrooms. Digital learning platforms are very common nowadays, and we stand at the crossroads of a digital revolution in education. Online learning platforms and virtual classrooms are redefining the way students access content, collaborate with peers, and interact with instructors. These platforms offer the flexibility to learn at one's own pace and connect with a global network of fellow learners. The second trend that we're looking at is artificial intelligence and machine learning. Now, some of you may ask, what has it got to do with management education? Is it not relevant for IT or engineering? Of course, no. AI is not merely a buzzword. It's reshaping the way we teach and learn. Adaptive learning systems can analyze individual student performance data to provide personalized learning pathways, ensuring that each student's needs are met and optimizing the learning process. That's why in today's context, especially in Malaysia, we have something called as micro-credentials, which are very, very popular, where we are customizing education for every student. The third concept is augmented and virtual reality. AR and VR technologies are transforming learning from a passive experience into an immersive journey. Through virtual simulations and augmented reality scenarios, management students can practice decision-making in realistic business environments, enhancing their critical thinking and problem-solving skills. That's why if you look at nowadays, a lot of business schools are integrating VR technologies, especially for simulations, gaming, and so on. The next concept is the big data analytics. The explosion of data is a hallmark of our era. Management education must now equip students with the skills to harness the power of big data and analytics for informed decision-making. Graduates who understand how to extract insights from this data will be better prepared to drive strategic business initiatives. So hence, the importance of big data analytics. I have seen a lot of progressive B schools are in fact, integrating data analytics into their curriculum or already integrated it so far. Blockchain technology is not just limited to cryptocurrencies. Its applications extend to supply chain management, contracts, and more. Especially if you look at smart contracting. Smart contracting basically works on blockchain technology. Integrating blockchain education into management programs empowers students to understand its potential to enhance transparency, security, and efficiency in various industries. Gamification, it injects elements of competition, engagement, and rewards into the learning process. Applying gaming principles to management education can foster active participation, enhance motivation, and improve retention of complex concepts. Another concept which is very, very well known to everyone is social media and networking. Of course, we don't have to explain the power of networking and social media today. Social media is not just a communication tool, it's a platform for learning, collaboration, and networking. Management students can leverage social media to connect with industry experts, engage in discussions, and stay updated on industry trends. So I think harnessing, especially LinkedIn, which is a very professional networking, must be used by management graduates, and business schools must encourage that too. Cloud computing is another concept that we need to understand. This has revolutionized the way we store and access information by integrating cloud-based tools into management education. Students can collaborate on projects, access resources, and work on assignments from anywhere, fostering a sense of flexibility and teamwork. Of course, remote and hybrid learning is catching up very fast, especially after the COVID scenario. Right? The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated the adoption of remote and hybrid learning models. These models offer students the freedom to learn from diverse locations while maintaining the benefits of real-time interactions and engagement. So hence, hybrid learning is becoming very important. Even in Malaysia, the trend is more towards hybrid learning. So we are going into a 60% online learning, 40% face-to-face learning. And even that 40% of face-to-face learning is broken down into a few hours of hardcore lecturing, and the remaining time is for problem-based learning as we are practicing in our own university today. Yes, how about cybersecurity and privacy education? Is it not important for management graduates? Very well, it is. With increased digital connectivity comes the need to highlight security awareness. So management education must include modules on cybersecurity and data privacy, ensuring that graduates are equipped to safeguard sensitive information. Unfortunately, many business schools do not, give a lot of significance to this. They feel, let the candidate join an organization, then the company will spend their money and time on training candidates on cybersecurity and privacy education. How about sustainability and ethics? The modern business world is recognizing the importance of sustainable practices and ethical considerations. Management education should instill a strong sense of social responsibility, equipping future leaders to lead organizations that not only generate profit, but also contribute positively to societal well-being or environmental well-being. Yes, this is nothing new, especially the experiential learning. A lot of good B schools have been practicing experiential learning since long time, but it has not been practiced universally. So hence, I wanted to, take up this concept of experiential learning. The shift from traditional classroom learning to experiential learning is gaining momentum. It's all about taking classroom to boardroom. Internships, real-world projects, and simulations offer students hands-on experience that bridge the gap between theory and practice. In our own university, we have tied up with different companies, and they give us a problem, and these problems become the assignments for students. So students don't do imaginary or hypothetical assignments. They take out real issues, and there are checkpoints, like there is an initial briefing by the company, there's a midpoint check, and then there's a final presentation by students to the company on the problem and the solutions. And then that becomes their assignment. I think that's a very good method to move forward, especially in this scenario. we must also encourage students to have global perspective. Many times we talk about global village, but unfortunately, we are like frogs in the well. Many times we are not able to see the holistic viewpoints, or, the bird's eye view, technically calling it. So in today's interconnected world, managers operate in a global context. Management education should expose students to diverse cultures, international business practices, and global economic trends. Especially, when you're teaching international business, I believe Hofstede's dimensions becomes an important aspect of learning to understand divergent cultures. How about entrepreneurship and innovation? Do we teach our students to be job seekers or job providers? That's the biggest question as management educators we must ask today. In fact, the whole idea of management education is to foster innovation and create entrepreneurs. So encouraging entrepreneurial mindset within management education promotes creativity, adaptability, and risk-taking. So graduates should be equipped not only to manage existing businesses, but also to drive innovation and launch new ventures. Yes, I without doubt, I would say that management, management schools have spent a lot of money and effort on soft skills, but how much of emotional intelligence is being taken care of? We talk about IQ, we talk about EQ, we talk about AQ, we talk about SQ. So do we really spend our time and money on harnessing students who are having attitudinal quotient, social quotient, not just emotional quotient or emotional intelligence? We must also look at lifelong learning as a concept because, in Malaysian context, lifelong learning has taken precedence over everything else. So that's why we are spending a lot of time and effort on APPLE A, APPLE C, APPLE Q, APPLE M, micro-credentials, master classes, and whatnot. So the traditional education is moving away and giving way to new concepts of lifelong learning. So the pace of change in business is relentless. Management education must emphasize the value of lifelong learning. Graduates should be prepared to continuously update their skills and knowledge to remain relevant in their career. So this lifelong concept really is significant, I would say. How about customized learning paths? Of course, this is very much connected to the previous concept I discussed with you, which is lifelong learning. Each student brings in unique set of strengths and aspirations. Personalized learning path, aided by technology, allows students to tailor their education to align with their individual goals. So I think micro-credentials to large extent is nothing but customized learning path, and which Malaysia is very seriously looking at today. And our university has over 10,000 micro-credentials in collaboration with other universities. Our own, we have around 3,000 micro-credentials, which anyone can take. They can get a digital badge, accumulate this digital badge, then credit transfer this and complete their education in their desired degree program. Blended learning, again, nothing new, but all the more has gained significance. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated the adoption of online learning, which I would say everyone agree with me. Blended learning models combining online and in-person instruction offer flexibility while maintaining the benefits of in-person interaction. And a few other concepts that I would like to share with you would be industry partnership. Of course, none of us dare to negate the relevance of industry partnerships because collaborations between academia and industry are vital. These partnerships provide students with real-world exposure, access to industry experts, and opportunities for networking and mentorship. Because nowadays we say it is not just what you know that is important, it is who you know That's more important. So the power of networking is undeniably significant in today's context. So just to conclude, the landscape of management education is evolving rapidly, mirroring the dynamic nature of the business world. As educators, it is our responsibility to equip our students with the skill, knowledge, and mindset they need to excel in this ever-changing environment. By embracing technological advancements, emphasizing ethics and sustainability, promoting experiential learning, and nurturing a global and entrepreneurial mindset, we can prepare our graduates to not only navigate challenges, but also to thrive as innovative, compassionate, and effective leaders. This is what exactly Masa University has been doing all the while. Though we have programs in medicine, engineering, health science, pharmacy, dentistry, business, IT, and so on, still the focus has been to build, all-round students who are well-shaped. That's why we also laid a lot of emphasis on cross-faculty learning. The medical students learning from business students learning from, let's say, engineering students or IT students. So the cross-faculty learning has been an exceptionally good experience for our faculty in Masa University. So in conclusion, as we embark on this journey into the future of management education, it is clear that technology is not merely a tool, but a transformative force. By embracing digital learning platforms, AI, AR, VR, data analytics, and other emerging technologies, we can enrich the learning experience, empower students to think critically, and prepare them to lead in an increasingly complex and interconnected world. So let's seize this opportunity to shape the next generation of leaders who are not just technologically adept, but also ethical, innovative, and capable of navigating the uncharted waters of the digital age. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Syriac.
You're most welcome.
Sorry, can you hear? I'm sorry, I should have introduced you, but I actually lost connection.
No worries.
Okay, so just let me briefly just introduce Associate Professor Dr. Syriac, although he did his presentation. So Dr. Syriac is an educationalist with exceptional leadership skills and a profound knowledge of higher education system. He's an expert in educational management, ODL delivery, curriculum development and design, training, assessment preparation, teaching, research guidance, mentoring, leadership, and administration. He is currently the Dean of the Faculty of Business at MHSA University, Malaysia. He has a PhD in economics and MBA in marketing with over 20 years of academic and administrative experience. He was honored with Most Fabulous Global Knowledge Management Leaders at Global Knowledge Management Congress and Awards, World HRD Congress 2020. He was the chair of many international conferences and has authored journal articles. He has delivered keynote addresses on sustainable development goals, the Malaysian Way, International Conference on Innovation, Technopreneurship, International University, 22-23 September 2022 in Malaysia. He has delivered keynote address on building employability skills with global tertiary institutions, the fourth conference on learning, education, and pedagogy in 19 and 20 June 2016 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. He has delivered keynote address on emerging trends in teaching and learning during the 8th conference, International Conference on Teaching, Education, and Learning in Kuala Lumpur also during December 29-30 in 2015. He's a journal reviewer for a number of international journals. He has supervised PhD scholars and has been an external examiner for PhD for over several years in 8 universities. His interest areas include marketing, sustainability, education, leadership, and international business. Thank you again, Associate Professor Dr. Siriak.
Thank you so much.
So now we will start with our technical session with Dr. Arun.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So, good morning to all the participants, and especially a special thanks to our keynote speaker, Associate Professor Dr. Sari, Dean from Masa University. It is nice meeting you, Prof. I'm Arun Kumar, Associate Professor at Management and Science University in Malaysia.
Hi.
So it was really a great speech on how our education has been transformed due to the technology, as well as the training that we have seen. Especially your point is micro-credential was truly important for every educators, especially for the higher education industry, to think of how we can actually provide the education to our adults, especially the professional bodies. It's a really impressive keynote. Thanks a lot for your insightful and valuable information to all our participants here, as well as us. Okay, without further ado, I would like to start. Our first presenter here is presented by Patience DG Kami Shawal. Are you available here?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so we would give you 7 minutes to present your research, and then 3 minutes there will be Q&A. You are going to present. The title is Analysis of Employee Engagement Through Physiological Behavior, Psychological Behavior, and Employment Performance of Millennium Generation, Gen Y. Okay, wish you all the best.
I'm not sure you have the right title.
Okay, sorry. Comparative analysis of conventional banking versus Islamic banking.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm extremely sorry for this. Anyway, sorry for this. Wish you all the best. You can proceed now. You can start now.
Good morning, fellow colleagues, distinguished guests, and adjudicators. On this 5th International Conference on Management, Education, and Emerging Technology, I will be presenting on comparative analysis of conventional banking and Islamic banking. By me and Dr. Saeed Mahmoud Ahmed. I am an outstanding and experienced finance professional with expertise in accounting, finance, and investment analysis. I hold a bachelor's degree in accounting from Africa University, a Master of Science in Finance from Cambridge College Global in the USA, and currently I'm enrolled at Victorian Institute of Technology in the Master in Business Administration degree. Dr. Saeed is an outstanding and experienced, well-qualified educational professional with special expertise in the hotel management, tourism, and the hospitality sector. He portrays excellent leadership skills and has got a sound business acumen. He holds a Bachelor of Science with Physics, Mathematics, and Geology from Karachi University in Pakistan. He's also a holder of a Master of Business Administration from the University of Lincoln in the United Kingdom. He holds a doctorate in tourism management from the Cyprus Institute of Marketing. Conventional banking has played an important role in the financial system. However, there is a need for an alternative banking system. Conventional banking heavily relies on the interest for all the banking products, which actually has become a burden on humanity, thereby seeing frustration, debts, and increase in poverty. Islam, on the other hand, guides us to alternative banking, which is Islamic banking, which is an interest-free banking system based on the Islamic Sharia principle. This research paper, however, analyzes and compares the pros and cons of conventional banking and Islamic banking. The key differences between the conventional banking and the Islamic banking lies in the governance, lies in the products, and the absence of interest in the Islamic banking system. I'll give a brief background of both the conventional banking and the Islamic banking. The conventional banking system, it was established firstly in Italy, and then it spread its wings to Spain and Holland before setting up in England. The underlying principle of conventional banking is the interest rate. Hence, depositors can expect interest on their money, and the borrowers also expect an interest charge on their debt. An emerging banking system, therefore, is rivaling the conventional banking system, which is the Islamic banking. With the founding of Dubai Islamic Bank in 1975, which is the first ever Islamic bank to emerge in the United Arab Emirates. This research has got 3 research questions. We focus on the difference in the governance of the 2 banking systems. We focus on how Islamic banks generate profit. And we also ask, how can Islamic banking increase its growth and presence in the global financial space? Because research has shown that Islamic banking is indeed crisis resilient. However, it remains unpopular, especially in the biggest economies like the USA and in Africa. I'll go over to the research methodology. Our research combines deductive and inductive approach using a simple mixed methodology with a case study and survey strategies. We will collect data through primary survey from 5 banks in Cape Town, South Africa, which are only the 5 banks that provide both Islamic banking and conventional banking products. Because the research is going to be conducted in South Africa, I'll give an overview of the banking system in South Africa. In South Africa, the banking system is the largest on the African continent. In 2022, a combined Tier 1 capital of the sector reached over $34.4 billion. Furthermore, the top 5 financial institutions in the country were among the 10 largest African banks in terms of asset value in the same year. The conventional banks that offer Islamic windows in South Africa are First National Bank, HBZ Bank, Absa Bank, Standard Bank, and Nedbank. There's only one Muslim bank in South Africa, which is the Al Baraka Bank. According to Lipka, in 2017, Islam is the 2nd largest religion with approximately and the fastest growing religion, especially with Black South Africans. They are drawn to Islam practices, especially from the immigrants. They are converting in increasing numbers and slowly changing the face of religion affiliations in the overwhelming Christian country. The allow market is also growing, not only within Muslim world, but also non-Muslim world. I've explained the differences between the products and services.
Sorry to interrupt. You have only 2 minutes more, 2 minutes left for your presentation.
Yes. I'll move over to the social and economic impact. Interest, which is from the conventional banking, is completely prohibited in Islam, according to Islamic law, because it has numerous negative impacts on society, including lowering the earning capacity, the purchasing power of the interest provider, as well as increasing the poverty. It leads to unequal income distribution, which means an alternative banking system is imperative. In conclusion, our investigation shows that Islamic banking has gained massive recognition and is indeed crisis resilient. However, bias still exists and imbalance on the education and training towards Islamic banking. Most tertiary institutions only offer conventional banking training and do not offer Islamic banking. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to present to you.
Thank you, Ms. Shaba. It's a good presentation, but I'm just a little bit curious because your objective was to show pros and cons, isn't it? Of between the conventional banking and Islamic banking. But
Yes.
throughout your presentation, actually, I cannot see that what actually pros and cons of your study. So
My
probably, no, probably actually, because now we have a time limitation, I do understand, but I think you should, at the end, it would be better if you could actually list down that, okay, these are the pros and these are the cons of conventional banking, and these are the pros and these are the cons of Islamic banking, because that is one of your main objectives, number one. Secondly, I strongly believe that just to understand the pros and cons, you may not require questionnaire. You can do literature review. You can do thematic analysis. You can do content analysis by using the NVivo software. You don't need any what is called questionnaire to just understand what is the pros and cons. If you say that you just would like to know what is the pros and cons of these two different banking system, you have to do literature review. You cannot just simply ask a individual just what is the pros and cons. It could be very, very biased. It could be very, very biased. So probably you can refine your objectives a little bit. Yes, Dr. Syed, I will give to you. Let me finish first. Definitely, I will give to you. Probably you have to refine your objectives, because if your objective is only to find out the pros and cons, probably questionnaire is not required. There is a lots of different methods are available now: content analysis, thematic analysis, meta analysis. We have, if you follow qualitative techniques, that's a suggestion from me, but definitely it's up to you. Yes, Dr. Syed, you can participate now.
Thank you, Dr. Arun. I'd just like to add something on it. And this is, first of all, we need to understand what is the difference. And we did mention some of the differences on our presentation, but time constraint did not allow us to do that. Both the pros and cons, and the major pros and cons in Islamic banking versus conventional banking is the interest element, which is the major cost. And then the second pros and cons is how does Islamic banking make benefits or make profit out of not doing interest-free or not giving interest to as a conventional banking. And that's what I think what Patience was trying to explain in terms. And for that, you need a primary data survey research, because unless you know what people are thinking, then just to simply produce the product and give it to them, this is Islamic finance or Islamic banking, would not help people, especially in South African region. So I believe your question is very valid. I mean, I do agree with your question as well, but also on the other hand, when you look in from the perspective of what South African people are thinking, you know, that would help in going through a detailed research first in order to create the awareness. Recently, if you've noticed that the element Russia after 10 years have just started doing a trial basis. It's a week or long element that they have just started Islamic banking as a trial basis. So in order to do the trial basis, Russia and the UK has done a 10-year study on different banking systems. So that's what we are trying to create the awareness through our paper first, then go into the detail of pros and cons, which is the follow-up paper. I hope now it's clear to you.
Yes, Dr. Syed, thanks for the clarification. But from my opinion, probably then you may use, because actually my major in marketing, I deal with the consumer psychology and perception, awareness. So probably the objectives could be like measuring the African continent's consumers' perception. Then definitely the questionnaire would play a crucial role in this research. However, if you emphasize or highlights only the pros and cons, probably I would suggest you better do bibliometric analysis. So it will give you more and more better opportunity to understand these two different banking system. But yes, what you clarification is absolutely right. There is no doubt that yes, it is very important to understand the awareness and perception before we initiate any of the product. Thanks a lot, Dr. Syed, for your clarification. Nice meeting you too.
Same here.
Okay.
Thank you for
okay. Any other questions from any other question? Yeah, thank you. Any other question from the audience?
I think Albert has got a question.
Yes.
Albert.
Yes, Mr. Albert.
I'm Dr. Albert. Thank you for the opportunity that I have a question. And I think that this research, the finding of the research is very interesting to everyone, especially he showed the differentiates about the conventional banking system and the Islamic banking system. All right, so my question is, based on your finding, which is the most effective that can be applied or in the era of society by 5.0 to develop the growth of economic in each country in the world? Thank you.
Can I answer this question?
Actually, first of all, there shouldn't have any interest of conflict. Please make sure that your answer shouldn't have any interest of conflict. Without that, yes, please go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Arun. Thank you for your question,
Yes.
Dr. Albert.
You're welcome.
The element here, Islam is growing in a fastest, second fastest growing religion. So conventional banking, there are a lot of elements which people are being, upset, or they want an alternative solution. I'm sorry, somebody is. Okay, can I cut? 1 second, Dr. Arun?
Yes.
There is somebody talking behind, so it's probably Dr. Albert will not be.
Okay, 1 second. Just give me Dr. Azhar. Okay, please continue, Prof. Sorry.
Thank you very much. Again, Dr. Albert, thank you for your question. Like I was saying, that Islam is growing very fast and the second largest growing population or religion in the world. According to the United Nations, by 2040 or 2045, this would surpass the Christian religion. That's what the United Nations World Population is saying. So they are looking something alternative where profit sharing would become an important aspect in terms of banking and financing. So that is the reason we are trying to understand what more is required by both non-Muslims as well as Muslims to look into financing element and how we can help them through the Holy Quran, Sharia, and the sayings of the Prophet. And that is the purpose of doing this survey and research. I hope I answered your question, Dr. Albert.
Yes, thank you. Your question is very completely, so I can understand strongly. Thank you very much for your answering.
Thank you very much.
Sorry,
Both of you
I
unmute.
think, yes. Thanks to all of you. But due to the time constraint, I really cannot allow any more questions. I hope that this discussion will improve our understanding in the research process. That is the things. And thanks, Dr. Said, for your very, very insightful comments and clarification, and excellent presentation by Shava. Thanks a lot, and wish you all the best for your upcoming research endeavor. Wish you all the best. Okay, so without a further ado, I would like to request Ms. Manisha Tandon to present her research on analysis of employee engagement through psychological behavior and employment performance of Millennium Generation Y. I hope Manisha Tandon is ready to present.
Yes, Dr. Arun, I'm ready, and I'll be sharing my screen.
Okay, sure, please. So we will give you 7 minutes and 3 minutes Q&A. So wish you all the best.
Yep. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Hope I'm audible to everyone. Yes. Good morning, Chief Executive Officer, Chairperson, and my fellow colleagues. My name is Manisha, and I'm very honored to present our paper on the analysis of employee engagement through psychological behavior and employment performance of millennial generation, that's Gen Y. My name is Manisha Tandon, and my co-author name is Dr. Syed Mahmood Ahmed. Coming to my biography, I'm a student at VIT pursuing my master's in human resource, and I completed my master's in microbiology in 2013 through India, and that is Osmania University. I'm a versatile and a dynamic recruiter, and who holds a passion of both human resource and microbiology, I have created a lot of technological domain, and hence I have experienced of 7 years into IT and ITS recruitment. Throughout my career, I honored my skills in terms of writing a good job descriptions, which attracts candidates and the hiring managers so that they can bring a good candidates onto the floor. My dedication in terms of my recruitment has built me a trust with hiring managers and the students to or the employees to get hired for the role in the domain that they are looking out. I'm a hardworking, trustworthy, and reliable resource who can work in a team, and I'm an individual person. Coming to Dr. Syed Ahmed's biography, as you all know that he completed his Bachelor's of Science in Pakistan, and he has done his Master's of MBA in London, and he holds a doctorate degree in tourism and marketing. He's an outstanding and well-qualified educational professional with both social expertise in hotel management and tourism. He is a good at leadership qualities, and he is a reliable resource both personally and professionally. Coming to my abstract, as we know that in 21st century, there are a lot of generations working together. There's Gen X, Gen Y, and the baby boomers working together. And a lot of organizations are facing difficulties in terms of managing, engaging, and retaining this millennial resource in the current generation or the organization, because they thought that it can be affected through psychological or through motivational factors. They wanted to work on these factors and challenges so that millennials can work together with Gen X and baby boomers in the organization. My main aim for this paper is to analyze the performance and initial employee engagement expectations entering in the Indian market of millennial generation Y. The second aim was to understand the organization and needs for millennials' expectations. Third, but not the least, and that's a major concern of my topic, is human resource practitioners, which has to be used by strategic implications in the millennial generation Y. Coming to my research questions, there are 3 research questions in this paper. The first, why are the values and aspirations of millennials in the workplace important? Second, what are the consequences of millennials in employee engagement important? And third, which are the factors affecting the HR policy during employee engagement? Next but not the least, my topic is methodology. It talks about what methods I'm using in this research paper. So the methodology would be inductive with an open service and questionnaires, which I would be conducting through interviews. And the methodology has a mixed approach, and we are using the software for data analysis through SSPS and many other tools for a research purpose. Coming to the, because I have taken my paper on in Hyderabad, that's my origin of the place, and I would be working, I was working in the same domain, so hence I have taken Hyderabad as my major aspect of this topic. So basically, the Hyderabad, that's Telangana region, has a population of 8,163 population. This is by 2023 census, out of which 1,096,230 are millennial population. I have compared this millennial generation across the country, and I've taken 5 major countries, that's India, Brazil, China, USA, and UK. I have compared how many millennials are present in the country, and I found that in India, there are 34% of the millennial population, which is spread across the world or across the countries. Now, coming to the gender ratio. As we all know that gender ratio is very diversified in all the organizations and the countries. So in Hyderabad, the total population is about 4 million population. This is according to the census, out of which 2.6 millions are males and 2.2 millions are the female employees working in an organization. However, the literacy rate in Telangana is overall 83.3%, whereas when we diversified or when we differentiate between male and female, we found that 87.3% is of male literacy rate and 79.04% is of female literacy rate. Coming to the characteristics of millennials. As we all know that millennials are tech savvy, they are inclined towards technology, and they achieve a lot of achievements during their work culture. Sometimes they love taking feedbacks from the employees or the persons that they are involved in it, but sometimes they don't take the feedback. And many of the times we saw that millennials are job hunting because of the low pay wages. They are trying to search for a lot of opportunities, and they love working in a team in terms of their positive behavior. Coming to the next slide, which talks about the differences between Gen X and Gen Y. As I told that Gen Y is tech savvy, whereas Gen X, they adopt to new technologies, but they're not tech savvy. They like transforming their changes in technology, but not as much as Gen Y are inclined. However, Gen X loves to maintain the life balance and in terms of personal and professional lives, whereas Gen Y is more inclined to get towards rewards and recognitions and the motivation factors that they are inclined towards. Coming to the challenges, this is my major focus, because in a lot of scenarios when I worked, I found challenges because I thought handling millennials is becoming a challenging for me in the current organization, because they lack social interactions because of the addiction of social media, due to which the personal lives and working lives are being affected of this millennial generation. As because of the organization, they are low pay masters for millennials. They are planning to seek alternate jobs because they thought that alternate jobs will help them in getting a lot of pays. For example, many millennials in India has found that working in a private sectors or working in an unpaid sectors, it's informal sectors, paid will be like they will be paying higher salaries when compared to a private organization. Hence, I have compared this graph in terms of informal and formal employment. Formal employment is nothing but the people who are employed with the organization, and informal employment is nothing but people who are working under unpaid jobs or working under family businesses. Next slide talks about the HR policies, which is a major concern throughout us. As we see that a lot of millennials lack confidence and in terms of their professional growth. So I've taken the studies from a lot of research work that is happening on millennial generation and try to understand the approach, how to approach the millennials in terms of thinking and bringing the confidence. Because of this COVID pandemic, a lot of millennials are wanting to work from home, and majority of the people are inclined towards work from home options because of the low paying organization. And maintaining this generation, both like Gen X and Gen Y, is little difficult for the organization because of their different characteristics in terms of their handlings and talents that they have. Coming to recommendations. Millennials needs recommendation in terms of rewards and recognitions because they're tech savvy. They have got a lot of technological information. So
Ma'am, you have 2 minutes more. 2
Sure.
minutes.
Sure, thank you for that. And coming to the recommendation, it's just as I mentioned that we are looking out for rewards and appraisals for the millennials. And being a tech savvy, they want to complete the work in their different tasks. So I wanted to change this aspirants of the millennials because everybody is tech savvy these days, but because to affect the efficiency of the work, we need to increase the productivity of millennials as they are tech savvy. Coming to conclusion, it can be said that both Gen Y and Gen X are searching for their jobs, and they have to upgrade their skills in terms of the technological knowledge. And both are experienced. Both can manage their work life and the personal life together. Hence, thank you. This is the topic. And these are the research questions that I have found for my topics. And thank you. And I'm open for questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Manisha Tandon, for your great presentation. I have just only one curiosity, that how do you define the employee engagement, and how do you measure their performance as well in your study?
The performance, because I already work with different organizations, I have maintained the work, like I had the performance reviews happened with the employees who were working. I have checked through their metrics that we carried forward in terms of revenue that they're generating and the technological information that they have, the process information and all. So I thought with all this information about the performance management review that I have done for these employees can help me in getting to know what is the difference between Gen X and Gen Y ratio, and that can help me in maintaining the performance ratio for this service.
Okay. Probably it requires some validity, because if you are not actually in your title, you are not comparing any Generation X and Generation Y. You just mention here employee performance of Millennium Generation Y. So if you suddenly start talking about comparing between Generation X and Y, I think it must reflect in your title as well as in your scope of the study, which is very, very important. Okay, and
Sure.
actually, see, if you look at your title, there are three important research areas that you have included. One is employee engagement. You must give a proper definition. Is it engagement is just for interaction you're talking about, or it's a meaningful meeting? So you must give some sort of indicators that how do you measure your employee engagement, and you also measure about the psychological behavior. So you have to define that terms. It is very, very important, because you see, as a researcher, when we use any terms, you must define it properly. Otherwise, it will mislead for the audience as well as the reader to understand actually what you are talking. And at the last, you talk about employment performance. So definitely you have to give the how do you measure, how do you define, and what are the indicators of all these three important things. I think that will definitely improve your research.
Yeah, that's my
Okay,
major concern, Arun. That is
Yes.
what my major three questions are, and I'm started working on it, because a lot of time I face difficulties for those questions to be answered by the employees working. So I'm working on this, and hopefully in my paper I can present those questions and
Definitely,
answers.
definitely. It's a very, very I could say interesting research area. Yet to do a lot of research on this employee engagement. In fact, many of my research graduates are actually, I am also working on customer engagement. Now engaging is a very important thing, because I'm in marketing. So customer engagement, employee engagement from HR perspective, student engagement from education perspective. So engagement becomes a very hot topic now. But we
Yes.
have to, because you see, like student engagement, employee engagement, customer engagement. Yes, engagement is the topic. However, they have a three different perspective, because when customer engage, what is their objectives? When employee engage, what is their objectives? So this is the reason why I actually mentioned that you should define it properly, so that it will give us a direction, that which direction you are looking toward. Okay.
Sure. Done. Thank you so
Okay.
much,
So
Arun. I'll
you're
work on
welcome.
it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. Any other question from the audience? Any other question from the audience?
No,
Yes.
thank you for me. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Arnold, you can ask them.
Yes, thank you very much for a very good presentation. What I'm recommending is try to determine the performance evaluation of this particular Gen X and Gen Y, so that you can identify exactly your weaknesses as part of the recommendations. That means that after identifying which is higher based on the metrics or the criteria provided, or maybe you may have some rubrics for that one. Therefore, you may come up on identifying the weakness, so that will have a value, especially for the organizations while you're working on that research. Thank you very much, our moderator, and of course the presenter. Thank you.
Okay, any other question from the audience? Can you hear me? Any other question from the audience? Hello, can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, thank you. Okay, so is there any other question from the audience?
Thank you.
Any other question? If not, thanks a lot, Ms. Manisha, for your great presentation and really good title. So wish you
Thank you
all the
so
best
much,
for your
Professor.
upcoming research endeavor.
Yeah, thank you so much, Arun.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, without a further ado, I would like to invite Miss Yu Jin Wei to present research on performance of modern rural financial poverty, elevation based on data envelopment method. Are you available there, Miss Yu Juhani?
Sir, she is not here. So we
So
are
she
playing.
is not present. Okay.
Yeah. We are playing her
Okay,
video.
so
We are playing
okay,
her
sure.
video.
Okay. So the next presenter is Dr. Jean Elia.
Sir, we are playing the video of you changing.
Actually, your voice is not clear to me. Is it possible to write type?
Sir, we are playing the video record of.
Oh, you're playing the video. Oh,
Yes,
okay,
yes,
okay, okay.
yes.
Okay, sure. Please go ahead. I can't hear anything. To enable your audio, I can't hear anything.
itu ଶୁଣା ଯାଉନି ତାର ତମେ ନିଜେ ଚଲଉଛ କି?
I think the audience cannot hear. I can't hear.
Yes, we cannot hear.
Ms. Priya, can we proceed for the next presentation and then you rectify the problem?
Dr. Arun, please go to the next
Yeah, presentation.
presenter.
Thank you.
In
Thank
the
you.
meanwhile, we will fix the issue.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, so I would like to request Dr. Zain Elia. Dr. Zain Elia, are you there?
It will also be a recorded presentation.
Okay, so is it possible to play that recording? Or should we proceed for the next?
Please proceed.
Okay, so can I invite Dr. Rushdi Jaitra?
Next, because we will play the.
Okay, so can I invite Dr. Rushdi? Dr. Rushdi, are you there? Okay, so I guess he is also not there. Okay, so Dr. Hussein Tarbulshi. I'm extremely sorry if my pronunciation is wrong. Please forgive me for that. Dr. Hussein Trabulshi. Dr. Hussein Trabulshi also not there. Okay, good. So, Dr. Nada, are you available? Dr. Nada. Dr. Nada, can you hear me? Dr. Nada, can you hear me? Dr. Nada is also not there. Okay, Dr. Razan Al-Baradi. Dr. Razan Al-Baradi, are you there? Okay, not there. So then Dr. G.N. Ali also not there. So is it all video presentation?
Yes, sir. We will be going through with the video presentations, sir. Just
So
give
all
me a
the
minute.
video presentation, huh? Okay, so
Yes,
please play one by one
Actually,
because I already
few
have.
of our few of them are facing some network issues. They might join
Okay.
us. Who have already denied, we will go for the video presentations of them. Just give me 1 minute. Just
Okay,
give me 1 minute.
sure, sir. So please, you can play the video because I already announced the name. You play the video
Yeah.
and give me 10 minutes time. I have to attend some phone call. So please
Okay.
play the
Okay.
video.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Sorry, Dr. Nada, can you hear me? Dr. Nada. Dr. Nada, can you hear me? Dr. Arun, can you hear me, please?
Yes, Dr. Arun has taken a break. We are just going to present another.
I don't listen, but I would like.
Hussain, I think. Dr. Hussain, you would like to present your paper now? Dr. Hussain, would you
no.
like to present your paper now?
No, Dr. Zaiter will present his paper now. Dr. Zaiter, Dr. Rushdie.
Okay, Dr.
Dr. Rushdie Zaiter,
just been
Dr.
admitted
Rushdie
to
Zaiter
this
is
Zoom
ready to
meeting.
present
If
his.
he wants to present his paper, yeah.
Yes. Dr. Rushdie Zaiter is ready to present his paper now.
Yes, please.
I will tell him.
Start your presentation.
Okay, Dr. Rushdie, are you ready?
Dr. Rushdie will be. Yeah,
Dr. Rushdie ready.
will be presenting.
Dr. Rushdie, can you start
on
now?
his topic.
Yes,
Dr.
I can
Nada,
start.
yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Dr. Rushdie.
So, Dr. Rushdie for his presentation on the acceptance concept of COVID-19 vaccine in Lebanon and the media impact on the people's vaccination decision. Dr. Rushdie, you can please start.
Okay,
Thank
good morning.
you, Dr. Arun. Dr.
Thank
Nada,
you.
can you hear me? Yes.
Okay, thank you,
Dr.
doctors. First of all, greetings and thank you. It's my honor to be presenting today in this conference. My paper is about acceptance concept of the COVID-19 vaccine in Lebanon and how the media impact the people's decisions on taking such a vaccination. Well, actually, the paper goes more into overall the health awareness and how can the government and the ministry consider how people think about taking the vaccine and other vaccines as well, and how they get influenced by the social media. I will be presenting on behalf as well of my colleagues, Dr. Ahmed Skaiki and Dr. Mahmoud Qabas. So the purpose of the paper was to identify the factors linked to the rejection of the Lebanese and one second, sorry. On the Lebanese to take the vaccine and how to be motivated to get into, so that some recommendation could be given on to deal with the strategic level in different cases, the COVID-19 and other pandemics. Hopefully that won't happen later on. The findings of the paper overall, the conducted study proves that the vaccine acceptance was related to the education level, which is the main factor, and the educated people will tend to rely on scientific information mainly. And also it has been proved that the different districts in Lebanon were associated with preferences related to the manufacturer country of the vaccine. Many studies have examined the impact of media actually worldwide and its impact on the decision making and the acceptance concept concerning the COVID-19 vaccine. However, in Lebanon, these studies were not found actually. Mainly were made by the government. Therefore, the paper will shed the light on the impact of the media's impact on the decision making and the acceptance concept concerning the COVID-19, as we said, specifically COVID-19, and overall general to health awareness vaccine in Lebanon, and to align the formal government efforts with some data analysis to adjust the strategies of public education and information dissemination, as well as the vaccine selection and distribution by region, premises in the world to reach as quickly as possible the accepted level of the community immunity. So the paper has taken into consideration three main hypotheses. first one is there is a relation between the desire of getting the vaccine and the level of education. And as we all know, the level of the education level was a main dimension used. The source of the information, the second hypothesis, the source of information received has the impact on directing the decision of people about the vaccine. And the third one is there is a relation between the preferences and of selecting a specific manufacturer country vaccine and the individual's region of registration. So this study we used the survey design method, were adopted the quantitative mainly a cross-sectional done at one point of time. The dependent variable was the acceptance level of Lebanese toward the COVID-19 vaccine, and the independent variables were, but not limited to, the education, the main variable, source of information about the vaccine, the health-related education, as well the sorry again, I have an issue here. Okay, about the vaccine, the health-related education, as well as the geographic area. Well, actually, we have taken the geographic area due to the environment of Lebanon, where different areas in Lebanon have actually different type of, say, education and commitment to different countries. So people will love or will accept vaccines depending on their commitments to the other countries, like for Russia or for the United States. So descriptive analysis has been done. In addition, some correspondence analysis to rely on factors that multiple corresponding analysis to check the commonality based on the quantitative variables extracted from the data in order to complete and finalize the study. In conclusion, the study showed that the vaccine acceptance was related to the education level, as educated people usually tend to rely on scientific information. And it has been proved that the different districts of Lebanon are associated with preferences related to the manufacturer country of the vaccine, and this was the main hypothesis, education level at the main dimension, and actually people tend to accept vaccines depending on the manufacturer country. The source of knowledge also has an impact on the decision related to health issues, but this impact is not unified in one direction, since each source of information targets a specific segment of the population, and that was related to the social media. So it was found that social media, depending on the type of the media, say Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, for example, each social media channel, say, was directed or to a specific segment. Thus, the type of knowledge given was impacting the decision among people. However, it was clear how each segment was related to the social media according to what they use. So the recommendation was to be able to meet such level of quality in the dynamic world that we live in. A new system of public health concerning the health education should be applied, as well as strict rules and regulations should be implemented, especially on media, special topics related to health. And that was clear that there was a great confusion among the population about the different type of social, the different information given, and the sometimes contradicting information in different social medias, social media channels. So this also has to be considered by the public body, how to manage such type of information, especially when it comes to pandemics and issues, health issues related to the public. Since social media and other knowledge source channels play an important role in the information exchange and decision makers back up, the Ministry of Health, with the cooperation of other authorities as well, should use all the channels to distribute the correct information and evidences on the facts needed to implement the public health plans. And thank you. Can you hear me?
Thank you so much, Dr. Usdi, for your presentation. So now it's a 10-minute break for coffee. Thank you so much. We'll rejoin after 10 minutes.
Hello everyone. Today I'm very happy that I
Okay, once again, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone can hear me.
Good
Yes, sir.
morning. Yes, we can
Okay,
hear you.
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
I would humbly request Dr. Mohammed Nimi to
Yes.
present his title paper in Internationalization of Higher Education, Evolving Factors and Dimensions. So we will give you 7 minutes time to present and 3 minutes Q&A. Wish you all the best.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Arun. So, good morning, everyone. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to share in the conference. Actually, this paper is under the title Internationalization.
Thank you,
of
Dr.
Higher
Muhammad.
Education.
You helped me in the conference. Thank you, Dr. Muhammad. Naam.
Thank you. It's prepared by Dr. Hussein Trabulsi and Dr. Muhammad Nami and Layal Skandar. So starting with the abstract, in this paper we are talking about internationalization of higher education organization, which established a foundation for framing and managing the internationalization process in the business field. With the universal vision uniforming multinational corporations and cultures around the world, there is real interest in internationalizing the education system and validation process over international higher education institutions. For that aim, the paper investigates in a qualitative method the significant factor affecting responsiveness of the Lebanese private universities to implement internationalization. Based on a mixed collective method and abductive approach, a semi-structured interview has been conducted with key personnel and stakeholders involved in internationalization program adopted by the Lebanese universities. The study concluded 4 main factors, starting from enhancing research projects, increasing student mobility, attaining international levels, and achieving internal and international competitive power. It has been mentioned in the paper that there is a significant and historical point of view rooted from Greek experience, considering universities as center of international knowledge system that encompasses technology, community, and culture. By that, internationalization of higher education is only a modern definition for a mutual historical scientific movement between civilizations. Derider Simon states that internationalization of higher education development evolved with system design to embrace scientific project, common language, uniform program, academicians, principles, and political views. Moving to the literature review, internationalization refers to the process of incorporating international, intercultural, or global element into post-secondary educational goal, function, or delivery. And due to the flow of human capital and the expansion of the globalized economy, education services are now seen as one of the international trades in both developed and developing countries. For the definition, defining internationalization itself carry many aspects which include integration within the organization that gives sustainability to the international element, a dynamic process that evolves on a continuous basis, and internationalization feeds the university in many dimensions in research and teaching and in service. Accordingly, the 4 main rationale for internationalization of higher education institutions are economic, academic, social culture, and political. So what are the challenges faced when internationalization of higher education occurred? So while it became more globally acclaimed, and despite its prominence, internationalization have received a backlash of criticism.
The internationalization concept has an evident and clear link with internationalization of power and dominance, and it was criticized for imposing values and uniform standards and paradigm which may be not appropriate in a certain context. Moreover, it has been recognized as a new dimension of commodification and marketization, economic driver for pursuing internationalizations, take lead over political, academic, or cultural social drivers nowadays, according to Yang in 2000. Alpach and Knight, in their famous paper published in 2007, noted that a shift of the academic profession has led to a decline in the quality of education for the growing number of students. So there are also barriers that affect trade in education service because unlike other sectors, government is a major actor in education, in educating both as a provider and legislator. These barriers can be grouped into two groups. The first group can be observed as an internal or domestic barriers, which are related to supply and quality of education service, such as the offered program, the size of the institution, tuition fees, and reputation. The second group can be observed as the external barriers, which are related to the exposed themselves, such as limiting access to market, obligation of foreign institutions to teach foreigners, preference given to local institutions, and refusal to recognize degrees from foreign countries. The paper objective was to investigate the factors that affect responsiveness of the Lebanese private universities to implement internationalization. The research question are what are the organization characteristics of the university that favor internationalization? What is the association between the university stakeholders' perception of internationalization and the responsiveness to its implementation? And what's the
Sorry, Dr. Mohammed, sorry to interrupt. You have only 2 minutes, 2 minutes to finish your.
Accordingly, I will move directly to the conclusion, to the last 2 slides. And the 21st century competence framework has been recognized as essential for students to be able to develop and prepare for future. The international framework for 21st century competence is divided into 4 main categories: ways of thinking, ways of working, tools of working, and living in the world. Globally, there is not one specific model that is followed by all universities, building a global persona for the prospective universities, including a strategic plan for internationalization and enhancing faculties and departmental academic capacities to a global level. Thank you so much for listening. Please, you are welcome to ask any question.
Your presentation, Dr. Mohammed. Is there any
Yes.
question from the audience? Is there any question from the audience? Okay, if not, I just have one simple question. Dr. Mohammed,
Yes.
what are the evolving factors and dimension do you find out from your study?
Okay, the most important evolving factors and dimension that internationalizations factors could be grouped into internal factors and external factors. The internal factors are related to the curriculum, are related to the number of students, to the size of the full-time and part-time academicians inside the university. However, the external factors could be the number of foreigners and how many universities have been built an MOU with the university and the international trade programs adopted or delivered by this university. So the most important factor is this external one, which is regarding the international program adopted or exported by the university.
Okay. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. Mohammed. It is really a great presentation, and wish you all the best for your upcoming research endeavor. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Now I would like to invite Ms. Yu Jinwi for her presentation, Research and Performance of Modern Rural Financial Poverty, Alleviation based on Data Involvement Method.
Hello, everyone. Today, I'm very happy that I could join this Meet conference. And next, I'm going to present my paper. The title is Research on Performance of Modern Rural Financial Poverty Alleviation based on Data Envelopment Method. And I am the author. My name is Yuzhen Wei, and the co-author is Dr. Adiza, and this paper is also guided by Dr. Adiza. First of all, let me introduce myself. My academic background includes I have received my bachelor degree and master degree both from Jiangsu University of Science and Technology in China, and my major was accounting. And now I am a PhD student from MSU. And next, my professional background. I am now working as an associate professor in Wuxi Institute of Technology in China. And my given courses include fundamental accounting, tax law, managed budgets and financial plans, and enterprise investment. And my research field includes rural economy, rural finance, and vocational education. And next, I'm going to present my paper. First of all, the abstract. Rural poverty alleviation is the mainstream form of poverty alleviation in China. For a very long time, the evaluation of performance of modern rural financial poverty alleviation is relatively lacking. So based on this situation, the purpose of this paper, of this project, is to evaluate both economic and social aspects and analyze the poverty alleviation performance of 12 typical poor villages, which was chosen from Jilin Province, Hunan Province, and Inner Mongolia Autonomous Regions. And the data was collected from the year 2006 and 2019 through data envelopment method. And according to the results obtained, it is further pointed out that in rural poverty alleviation work, adjustments and optimizations should be made in terms of carrying out poverty alleviation in characteristic industries and improving the expenditure structure. And next, I have picked up some key points to describe my paper. First of all, financial support for poverty alleviation has some problems in implementing periods. And these problems may include low economic starting point, improper poverty alleviation methods. And by literature review, I have found that the existing research results shows that there is no comparative study on performance of modern rural financial poverty alleviation in different provinces. So in this paper, I chose 12 typical poverty-stricken villages and used the data envelopment method to carry out a comparative study. And the purpose of the paper is to help China's rural areas carry out poverty alleviation work efficiently and smoothly. So the research was conducted in rural areas in China, and the research method was a data envelopment method. And in doing this, I have chosen 4 indicators, input indicators. They are per capita poverty alleviation, per capita arable land, household operating expenses, and education expenditure. And I have also chose 4 output indicators. They are per capita net income, per capita food consumption expenditure, the proportion of natural villages connected to highways, and school-age children enrollment rate. And the data of each indicator is calculated through the models. The model is the C²2 and the BCC models established by each indicator. And in the process of the research, I have calculated the performance input and the output index data of modern rural financial poverty alleviation, and the results of C²R and the BCC models of modern rural financial poverty alleviation performance. And at last, the calculation results of input and output index relaxation variables of poverty alleviation projects. And by doing this, we have come to conclusions, which include some province.
Is the video end already?
Yes, sir, you can proceed.
Okay, so I would like to request you to play the video of Dr. Jian Elia on sustainable practice and their impact on the operation of fresh fruit and vegetables market in the cold chain, evidence from Lebanon. Please please play the video for Dr. Gian Elia.
A second time, greetings, esteemed attendees of the conference. I present our second article. I'm Jean Elia, discussing sustainable practices and their impact on the operations of fresh fruits and vegetables market in the cold chain, evidence from Lebanon. Permit me to present the author and co-authors of this article. First of all, I'm the author, Jean Elia, a devoted PhD student and university instructor since 2015. Second, Professor Hussein Trabulsi. He holds a PhD in economics, and he is one of the jury members, and he is the chief of the Department of Economics at the Lebanese University. Third, Dr. Nada Jabbour Malouf. She is a PhD holder in business administration from the Lebanese University. She is the chairperson of finance and the MBA coordinator at MUBS University in Lebanon. Fourth, Dr. Shadia Sawaya. She holds a PhD in finance and she has more than 25 years of experience in teaching at several Lebanese universities, and she is currently the head of graduate studies at UZEK University. Fifth, Mr. Hadi Trabulsi, who is a PhD candidate and an employee at the International Red Cross. And lastly, Mr. Fawzi Butrus, who holds a master's in business administration. As for the abstract of our current study, this study aimed to explore the impact of sustainable practices on the operational performance of fresh products within Lebanon's cold chain, specifically focusing on the operational flexibility, product delivery, quality, and cost. The objective is to discern how sustainable supply chain management techniques influence these key operational aspects, thereby contributing to the enhancement of the cold chain system. Employing a positivist approach with a deductive reasoning framework, this research employed a mono method quantitative design. A cross-sectional survey was conducted involving a sample of 136 participants from relevant stakeholders within Lebanon's cold chain. The data was collected and then analyzed using the statistical package for the social sciences SPSS software. The findings revealed a significant and positive correlation between the adoption of sustainable supply chain management practices and the operational performance indicators under scrutiny. The study highlighted that the implementation of sustainable practices positively influences operational flexibility, product quality, timely delivery, and cost efficiency. For sure, we are talking here within the context of a fresh products cold chain. This research contributed to the existing body of knowledge by empirically substantiating the connection between sustainability practices and operational outcomes in the context of the cold chain. The outcomes offer valuable insights for practitioners and policymakers in the agri-food industry, providing evidence-based guidance to optimize cold chain operations through the integration of sustainable practices. As you can see in this table, The study examined the impact of sustainable supply chain management practices on various operational variables in Lebanon's fruit and vegetable supply chain. The findings revealed noteworthy correlations between sustainability and key performance indicators. For flexibility, a correlation coefficient of 0.527 indicates a moderate positive relationship, implying that as organizations apply or adopt sustainable practices, their supply chain operations become more adaptable to changes. Delivery performance shows a strong positive connection. R is equal to 0.617, suggesting that prioritizing sustainability enhances timely and reliable customer demand fulfillment. Quality with a coefficient of 0.608 signifies a significant positive relationship, indicating that sustainable practices lead to higher product service standards that meet or exceed customer expectations. While the correlation between sustainability and cost is relatively weak, R is equal to 0.317, it suggests that sustainable practices have a modest impact on cost performance, allowing cost reduction while maintaining desired performance levels. Overall, the findings emphasize the potential of sustainable practices to enhance flexibility, delivery, quality, and to some extent, cost management in Lebanon's product supply chain, underscoring their importance for overall performance improvement. As a conclusion, the research outcomes underscore the potential of integrating sustainable practices within supply chain management to yield favorable impacts on operational aspects such as flexibility, delivery efficiency, and product quality. While the effect on cost is relatively modest, the benefits remain evident. This holds substantial implications for entities operating within Lebanon's fruits and vegetables market. Acknowledging the substantial advantages that sustainable practices offer, these organizations are highly encouraged to embrace these principles as integral components of their overarching supply chain strategy. By doing so, they can position themselves to achieve elevated levels of performance excellence in the aforementioned areas, fostering competitiveness, resilience, and improved customer satisfaction. In a dynamic business landscape, the strategic adoption of sustainable practices emerges as a pivotal driver of enhanced supply chain dynamics, contributing to overall organizational success and sustainable growth within the organization. In closing, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all attendees for their time, engagement, and contributions to this enriching conference. Thank you.
Thank you. So I would like to request now Dr. Nada Jabur Al-Malho. I hope you are. So you are going to present with the title of Emotional Intelligence Impact on the Creativity of Project Managers in Architecture Companies Favoring Sustainability. So we would give you 7 minutes to present and 3 minutes for Q&A. Sorry? Hi. Hi, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You carry on, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
I hear
so
you.
I would
I
like-
hear you. I'm Dr. Trabulsi. I told you that Dr. Nada Jabur Al-Malouf, she is the moderator for this session. but we have in Lebanon bad connection. Then I prefer to present her presentation by the video.
Okay, by the video. So do you have the video?
I'm sorry, Yani, but we have a bad connection. Before that, we can't listen very well, Dr. Nami, the presentation of Dr. Trabulsi and Dr. Nami, because that it's better for all to present the video, because in Lebanon now, bad connection and bad electricity.
Okay. Okay, so is the video is available now?
But Dr. Nada Al Ma'louf, she's in the conference now with Dr. Gaiter, Dr. Nami, all, but and she's the moderator, but unfortunately, bad connection.
No problem, no problem. So the video is available now? Miss Priya, the video is with you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, please play. Please play.
Okay. Unfortunately. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Greetings, esteemed attendees of the International Conference on Management, Education, and Emerging Technology. I'm Nada Jabbour Al Ma'louf, and I will be discussing our article entitled Emotional Intelligence Impacts on the Creativity of Project Managers in Architecture Companies Favoring Sustainability. Let me start by introducing the authors. First, myself, Nada Jabbour Al Ma'louf. I hold a PhD in Business Administration from the Lebanese University. I am currently the chairperson of finance and the MBA coordinator at the Modern University for Business and Science. I have been a university instructor since 2017. Second, Dr. Hussein Trabulsi. He is a professor of economics and the chief department of economics at the Lebanese University. Third, Mr. Jean Elia. He is a PhD student at the Lebanese University and has been a university instructor since 2015. Fourth, Dr. Shadia Sawaya. She has a PhD in finance with more than 25 years of experience in teaching at several Lebanese universities. She is currently the head of graduate studies at UZEC. Fifth, Mr. Hadi Trabulsi. He is a PhD student and an employee at the International Red Cross. Sixth, Mrs. Razan Al-Baradei. She is currently a PhD student and the acting chairperson of management at MUBS. Now, our study actually discussed two main concepts, which are emotional intelligence and the creativity of project managers. For the first concept, Daniel Goleman in 1996 defined emotional intelligence as a person's ability to manage his feelings so that those feelings are expressed appropriately and effectively. The 5 components of emotional intelligence that Goleman introduced were considered in this study. They are self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, social skills, and empathy. For the second concept, creative project management refers to the processes used to ensure the effective delivery and management of creative projects inside businesses and creative organizations. Now, why were those two concepts chosen? As noted by many authors, project managers need to foster a culture where customers, sponsors, team members, and management can work together effectively to solve problems and make decisions, to move strategically and quickly. Also, success nowadays, in the circumstances, crises, and challenges we are living, depends on having knowledge about implementing emotional intelligence to foster creativity in projects. After surveying the literature and previous studies, no previous authors tackled this topic specifically. This led to the main purpose behind this study, which is to investigate the impact of emotional intelligence on the creativity of project managers in architecture companies favoring sustainability. Now, why were architecture companies favoring sustainability chosen as a targeted population? Because nowadays, SDGs and the concept of sustainability are of high importance. Architecture firms dedicated to more environmental friendly approaches to building design and construction are becoming leaders in the industry. For this reason, they were chosen as a target population of the study. Now, in order to achieve the objectives of this explanatory research with a positivism philosophy and deductive reasoning, a quantitative method was used. A cross-sectional survey was used to obtain responses from the target relation, which is the project managers in architecture companies favoring sustainability. However, because conducting a consensus is mainly too difficult, given the scarce research logistics, a sample of 82 participants was obtained. The questionnaire included a total of 35 questions and was divided into two main sections. Section 1 included the socio-demographic characteristics related to gender, age, and educational qualification. Section 2 included 20 Likert scale questions related to the components of emotional intelligence and 12 Likert scale questions related to the creativity of project managers in architecture companies favoring sustainability. Afterwards, the questionnaire was distributed online using Google Forms. After gathering the responses from the questionnaire, SPSS was used to analyze the results, specifically Pearson correlation. The research was conducted based on scientific basis of research, especially objectivism, unbiasedness, care, and interest. The findings of the study revealed a positive correlation between emotional intelligence and the creativity of project managers in architecture companies favoring sustainability. Now, to test the hypothesis and investigate whether emotional intelligence affects the creativity of project managers, the Pearson correlation was used as shown in the table. The obtained coefficient is 0.772, which shows a strong positive correlation between the variables. In addition, the p-value is 0.000, which means that the result is significant at a significance level of 1%. Now, as a conclusion, the findings of the study showed a positive, strong, and significant correlation between emotional intelligence and the creativity of project managers in architecture companies favoring sustainability. Thus, it is recommended that worldwide organizations, and especially architecture firms that favor sustainability, support within their culture and work environment the concept of emotional intelligence. Through organizing workshops to assess, develop, and enhance this vital skill and aspect in its employees in general and especially project managers. Finally, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to the organizers of this conference for providing a platform to present our research. Thank you.
Thank you so much for a very brief and very meaningful presentation. It's a great idea to actually work on. However, how do you define the... Yeah, Dr. Nada.
I'm ready for your question.
Okay, how do you define the emotional intelligence here in your study?
Okay, so in our study, we used Daniel Goldman's definition, and we used the 5 components he mentioned, which are self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, social skills, and empathy. This is how we measured actually emotional intelligence.
Okay, so because your unit of analysis is a manager, isn't it? Your unit of analysis is a manager
Yes.
from architecture organization,
Yes,
right?
yes, project managers, yes.
Yes, project manager. Okay, good. So why do project manager require creativity? Because if I'm not mistaken, in your title you mentioned about the creativity.
Excuse me, can you repeat?
The
Why are
creativity of project managers? Yeah.
Why do they need to be creative, you mean?
I mean, how do you measure their creativity? How do you measure their creativity?
Okay. Okay, we actually we used a questionnaire and distributed it to project managers in order to test approximately their emotional intelligence and creativity. But the limitation of the study is that those 2 concepts are really psychological concepts. So emotional intelligence and creativity are something not tangible, so they are really psychological. So this is the limitation here, because when you send a questionnaire, it's subject to subjectivity actually. So we actually measured creativity through several statements where project managers have had to strongly agree or disagree with those statements. We used the communication skills, motivating others, their knowledge, their autonomy, job autonomy, their complexity, their curiosity, their ambitions. So we used some sentences where we tried not to gather such subjective answers.
Thank you, Dr. Nada. Thank you, Dr. Nada. Is there any other question from the audience? Okay, I don't think so that there is any other question. Thanks a lot, and wish you all the best for your upcoming research endeavor. Thank you. So I would like to request to play the Dr. Razan Al-Bardi research titled Lebanese Universities Students Amidst the Economic Crisis, Challenges and Practical Application. So please play the video.
Yes, I'm sorry to make intervention also, but Dr.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Razan Al-Baradi, and I am pleased and honored to be presenting a paper titled Lebanese University Students Amidst the Economic Crisis, Challenges and Practical Implications. During today's conference, the International Conference on Management, Education, and Emerging Technology. Allow me first to start by introducing the team members. We are a group of 4 authors. I will start by myself. I'm the acting chairperson for the Management Department at the Modern University for Business and Sciences, and I am currently pursuing my DBA degree. Dr. Nada Jabbour Al-Malouf, she's a PhD holder in Business Administration, and Dr. Nada is currently the chairperson of the Finance Department and the MBA coordinator at the Modern University for Business and Sciences. She has been teaching since 2017. Dr. Muhammad Naame, a PhD holder in business management, and he's the assistant professor at MEBS. And last but not least, Dr. Hussein Trabulsi, a professor of economics and the chief department of economics at the Lebanese University. Concerning our paper, I will start by providing insights and input about the Lebanese situation to reach out the purpose of our paper and to introduce the findings. So Lebanon has been experiencing severe financial, economic, and political crisis since 2019. The corona pandemic, the collapse of the banking sector, the public debt accumulation, the explosion at Beirut port, and many popular and political protests. All these led to a severe economic crisis, with inflation reaching its highest in 30 years. These factors affected in a way or another the Lebanese university youth and their future expectations. So This paper aims to provoke discussion and provide detailed insights into the repercussions of the crisis on students' lives and expectations by examining literature reviews for researchers during crisis. The paper proposes educational and administrative frameworks to address the crisis by matching the necessary sustainable skills with opportunities and offers on the local and global markets. Many studies have examined the impact of the economic crisis on the educational sectors and the behavioral and psychological aspects of university students in Lebanon. But few studies have examined the relationship between problems in light of crisis and university students' lives and their expectations and quality of their education. Since there is still a great deal of uncertainty around this relationship, therefore, light in this paper will be shed on the economic crisis, on the lives of students, their expectations, and the quality of their studies to achieve a strategic plan and a clear mechanism of action that adopted by stakeholders to rectify the crisis and to reduce its repercussions, at least in the higher educational sector. Therefore, the aim of this research is to achieve more about the impact of the economic crisis in Lebanon on various aspects of students' lives. These aspects are the student's life, which is affected by the economic crisis from a moral and psychological standpoint, since the financial resources have become scarce, as well as the prevalence of depression among students, academics, and teachers who receive meager salaries. So students are unable to acquire competencies and skills they need to succeed in universities, which are acquired through students' clubs, extracurricular activities, and qualifications for global environment. The second factor is and what we mean here by expectations is the person's view about the trait of a certain belief and the likelihood that it will change based on previous research. These expectations are built using a person's expertise and information in combination, and several studies examine students' expectations, particularly those of students at university. The factor is the quality of studies, which according to Miller in 2009 has been defined as who and how students learn, not by what students learn. So this research also aims to contribute to many academic and public knowledge that helps solve and highlight the problem discussed. So based on the literature review that examined the consequences of economic crisis on students' lives, their expectations, and the quality of education provided to them, it was found that the economic crisis limits students' ability to enroll in higher education and to complete their educational careers, especially for those with limited income and poor social classes. But the most prominent in light of the crisis is the clear gap between the educational and qualification content provided by universities and the need of the local and global markets. It turns out that students' expectations are miserable towards their employment opportunities in multinational companies that compete globally, as long as their students' life does not provide them with sustainable skills such as technological skills, communication skills, and interaction with the diversity and global markets, or leadership and entrepreneurship skills that enhance their abilities to open companies and create job opportunities. Based on the concept of CSR, corporate social responsibility, it is not the responsibility of the state alone or the Ministry of Higher Education to launch educational strategies to enhance the lives of students and provide them with the required sustainable skills, but rather the main stakeholders represented by the Federation of Private Educational Institutions, the Federation of Private Universities, and the Lebanese University should create a strategy to change the curricula, practical and vocational courses associated with academic education. Such initiatives do not constitute a financial burden on decision makers, but rather require stimulating efforts and initiatives to adopt a single future outlook and applied mechanism aimed to reducing the gap between the number of unemployed graduates, such as the supply of scientific and professional competencies, and the demand by the labor market. example, by operating companies and organizations in the community. There is a possibility here to rely on Qatar's model of change through the existence of the need to change the radical educational system, especially in the economic crisis situation, to forming and to build a guiding team consisting of experts in the educational field from private and public and universities and the labor market, to developing a unified vision for the higher education sector in Lebanon, to enhance the communication via workshops and conference for setting the implementation plan, to empowering actions and rewarding the committed universities of high vocational institutions, generating short-term wins by offering scholarships and job opportunities to alumni from committed universities, to also sustaining acceleration of the development and vision for meeting sustainable development goals. These are all the conclusions for our paper. Thank you for listening and wishing all the luck to all the papers in this conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Razana, for your very valuable and insightful presentation. So I would like to request our next presenter, Dr. Jian Elia, to present the sustainable marketing strategies in Lebanese insurance companies and their impact on marketing performance. Please please invite the Dr. Jian Elia's video to play.
Greetings, esteemed attendees of the International Conference on Management, Education, and Emerging Technology. I'm Jean Elia, and I'm glad to present to you our paper entitled Sustainable Marketing Strategies in Lebanese Insurance Companies and Their Impact on Marketing Performance. First of all, I would like to introduce to you the author and co-authors of this paper. I'm the author, Jean Elia, a devoted PhD student and university instructor since 2015. Today, I'm honored to share insights on our paper. Also, respected audience, I present to you Professor Hussein Trabulsi, who holds a PhD in economics, and he is a distinguished figure in economics in Lebanon. He holds the position of Chief of Department of Economics at the Lebanese University, and his expertise enriched our exploration. Third, Dr. Nada Jabbour Al-Malouf. She's a trailblazer with a PhD in business administration from the Lebanese University. She is also a university instructor since the year 2017, and she holds now the title of MBA coordinator and a chairperson of finance at MUBS. Her knowledge also was invaluable to our paper. Fourth, Dr. Shadia Sawaya. She's an educator with a PhD in finance with over 25 years of teaching at numerous Lebanese universities, and currently heading graduate studies at UZAC University. Her insights were highly also anticipated during our work. Fifth, Mr. Hadi Trabulsi, a dedicated PhD student and a valued member of the International Red Cross. His unique perspective added depth to our exploration. Lastly, we acknowledge Mr. Fawzi Butrus, an adept professional with a Master of Business Administration. While concise, his contribution to our discourse was of great significance. As you can see in this abstract slide, our study aimed to comprehensively explore the influence of sustainable marketing strategies on the marketing performance of Lebanese insurance companies. We reviewed literature and we defined a gap in the literature, and this was the cause or the purpose that drove us to tackle this topic. Employing a positivist approach and deductive reasoning, the research adopted a mono-method quantitative design through a cross-sectional survey. The data was collected online via Google Forms, and we then analyzed the data using SPSS software. The findings underscored a positive correlation between sustainable marketing strategies and heightened marketing performance, revealing a dynamic interplay between these critical facets within the insurance domain. As you can see in this description slide, the study's conceptual framework is presented on the right side. It encapsulates the relationships between the variables, showing the hypotheses that were developed for our study. The dependent variable is marketing performance, and it was measured encompassing dimensions of profitability, sales, and customer satisfaction. The independent variable are sustainable marketing strategies comprising creative marketing, customer-oriented marketing, social marketing, and customer value marketing. This study rigorously examined the relationship between sustainable marketing strategies and marketing performance using Pearson correlation and regression analysis. Correlation analysis demonstrated a positive link between the two variables. Regression yielded the equation marketing performance equals 1.336 plus 0.677 times the sustainable marketing strategies. Quantifying the relationship between the two variables. The constant term 1.336 indicated baseline performance without sustainable strategies, while the coefficient 0.677 highlighted performance gain with each sustainable strategy unit. Empirical evidence supported the study's hypotheses, showcasing the beneficial impact of sustainable marketing on marketing performance in Lebanese insurance companies, contributing substantiated insights to the field. As a conclusion, this study underscored a compelling link between sustainable marketing strategies and marketing performance within the context of Lebanese insurance companies. The significant and positive coefficient 0.677, where the p-value is less than 0.001, reflects that heightened adoption of sustainable marketing strategy corresponds to increased marketing performance. Consequently, embracing sustainable strategies emerges as a key driver for enhancing insurance companies' effectiveness. The implications encompass amplified brand perception, bolstered customer loyalty, and overall marketing efficacy, reinforcing the inference that integrating sustainability principles yields tangible benefits in Lebanon's insurance industry. We are so thankful for listening to our presentation, and we deeply wish that our paper would contribute to the body of knowledge regarding the tackled topic, which is the sustainable marketing strategies and its impact on marketing performance in insurance companies. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chen. It is truly a good presentation, and I think, is there any question from the audience? Okay, I think there is no question. So as a very important responsibility of mine to conclude the session for this conference, I would like to really appreciate all the presenter today, because you made this session is very, very valuable with your abundant knowledge, as well as giving us a new idea on how we can actually think of in some direction. It is truly a great conference for us, where the all intellectuals share their experience as well as share their knowledge in order to improvise our research skills. So it was truly my honor to chair this session and listen all this valuable research contribution from all these great researchers. I think that's all from my side, and I would like to pass Dr. Nada to conclude the session. Yes, Dr. Nada?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I think they should stop sharing the video. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, as the sun sets on this remarkable day, we gather here to mark the conclusion of our conference. It has been a day filled with enlightening discussions, valuable insights, and the exchange of knowledge that will undoubtedly resonate long after we leave this conference. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to each and every participant who graced this conference with their presence. Your dedication to learning, sharing, and engaging in meaningful conversations has been the driving force behind the success of this event. We also extend our gratitude to the distinguished speakers, presenters, co-hosts, keynote speakers, especially Dr. Arwan. Thank you so much. The success of this
it's my honor. It's my honor.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arwan. The success of this conference would not have been possible without the diligent efforts of our organizing committee, volunteers, sponsors, and partners. Your hard work really behind the scenes ensured that everything ran smoothly, allowing us to focus on the content and connections that made the event so impactful. So as we depart this conference, let's carry forward the knowledge gained, the connections forged, and the inspirations ignited. We encourage you to continue the conversations, nurture relationships established, and apply the insights gained to your respective endeavors. Once again, thank you everyone for participating in this memorable conference. Your presence has made all the difference. So here's to future innovation, collaboration, and progress. Until we meet again in our next conference, I would kindly ask you all at the end to open your videos in order to take a group picture. So for the participants, whoever is available, if you can open your videos in order to take a group photo for the conference. Can you hear us? Okay. Can you hear me, Dr. Arwan?
Okay, before we end the session, I would like to, okay,
Looks like Dr. Arun is stuck.
Hello?
Yeah, he's back.
Hello?
Yes. Yes, Dr.
Hello, can
Arun.
you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, before I end the session, I have a big responsibility to announce the best paper and the best presenter. So it was really a tough decision for me to, because honestly speaking, this session, all of you present very well. And it is very, very informative and fruitful, I could say, research contribution to the body of the knowledge. So I really was, I mean, it was a very dilemma for me to select which one is the best and which one is the best. To me, is all are the best, honestly speaking, because I strongly believe that every research has some sort of contribution that can improve our knowledge or skills or even our concept. However, due to the practicality, I have to select someone as called best, but here again, everyone is the best. However, I have to announce the best presenter as well as the best paper. So first, I would like to announce the best paper. And in this best paper, I would definitely announce proudly to say Dr. Gian Elia to present the sustainable marketing strategies in Lebanese insurance companies and their impact on marketing performance. This paper is considered as best paper. And the best presenter is Dr. Nada for presenting emotional intelligence impact on creativity of project managers in architecture companies favoring sustainability. I hope that this two announcement will not hinder of submitting your paper in this conference, because you have to understand, as I told you, that all the papers are good here, all the research are really, really impactful in this conference. However, I have to announce, so I strongly believe this paper and the presenter truly deserve to be the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arun. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure and my honor.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.